The Super Bowl halftime show ended, and within seconds, the performance stopped being the story. The reactions were. X went straight into detective mode, and the first thing people noticed was how uneven the energy in the celebrity sections looked. Some people were dancing like rent was due. Others looked like they'd accidentally walked into a meeting they didn't agree to attend. Screenshots started circulating immediately. People zoomed in on luxury boxes, freezing frames, circling faces, posting, "Am I tripping or does everyone look mad?" One of the earliest viral posts wasn't even about Bad Bunny. It was about the crowd shots being cut too fast. People swore the broadcast kept avoiding certain reactions. "Why are they not showing the audience?" started trending in small pockets. And once that idea took hold, everything became suspicious. Every cut felt intentional. Every missed reaction felt deliberate. The moment Bad Bunny stepped onto the Super Bowl stage, the reaction was immediate, and not in the "wow, that was entertaining" way. It was the kind of reaction where people don't even wait for the performance to finish before they start arguing. Within minutes, X was flooded with posts saying this didn't feel like a halftime show, it felt like a statement. And depending on who you asked, that was either the point or the problem. The biggest issue people latched onto right away was language. Not sound quality, not choreography, not energy. Language. The fact that Bad Bunny opened and carried most of the performance in Spanish set off a wave of comments accusing the NFL of politicizing the Super Bowl, which immediately exposed what the backlash was really about. Because nothing about music choice is political until it makes certain people feel like they're not the center of the room anymore. As the performance continued, the racial undertones of the criticism became impossible to ignore. Posts started circulating saying things like, "This doesn't represent America," which were quickly quote-tweeted with reminders that Puerto Ricans are American citizens. That back and forth exploded. Some users openly complained that they couldn't relate to the show, while others fired back that relatability has never been a requirement for Black or Latino artists to justify their presence on global stages. The phrase "forced diversity" started trending in smaller circles, while others mocked it, saying the only thing being forced was people to sit through a moment that didn't cater to them. Bad Bunny himself became the center of the controversy, not just for what he performed, but for what he didn't do. He didn't explain himself, he didn't switch languages to accommodate viewers, he didn't soften the visuals or dilute the cultural references, and that refusal became the real issue. A lot of the criticism wasn't subtle. Some posts straight up accused him of shoving culture down people's throats, while supporters pointed out that English language performances have never been considered shoving anything. The racial double standard was being discussed in real time, and it was messy. Then the political layer kicked in. Commentators on X and beyond started framing the performance as a political act, even though no explicit political messaging was spoken. That's what made it worse. The idea that simply existing loudly and unapologetically could be considered political made people uncomfortable, and they said so. Some posts claimed the NFL was sending a message, others claimed Bad Bunny was making a point, and his fans responded by saying maybe the message was that Latino culture doesn't need permission anymore. The debate wasn't about intention, it was about interpretation, and those interpretations were deeply racialized. As all of this was happening, people stopped watching the stage and started watching the crowd, because that's where gossip lives. X users began posting screenshots and clips of celebrity reactions, analyzing who looked uncomfortable and who didn't. That's when Kim Kardashian and Lewis Hamilton started trending together. Multiple posts claimed cameras briefly caught them sharing a very close, very intimate moment, with some users saying they kissed, others saying it was a whisper that looked like a kiss. No clear footage, no confirmation, but that didn't matter. The rumor spread fast because it happened during a moment when the performance itself was already making people uneasy. Suddenly, timelines were split between arguing about cultural backlash and asking why Kim and Lewis were suddenly acting familiar in the middle of all this tension. That rumor added fuel to an already chaotic night. People speculated that the awkward celebrity energy wasn't just about the performance, but about being caught in a moment that was spiraling culturally and politically. Some users claimed certain celebrities didn't know how to react because whatever they did would be read as taking a side. Clapping too hard looked performative. Not clapping looked hostile. Staying neutral wasn't an option. That pressure showed, and X ate it up. Then, Bad Bunny wiped his Instagram. That move alone turned criticism into obsession. People immediately connected the deletion to the backlash, claiming he logged off because he knew exactly what storm he had started. Others argued it was a power move, that he refused to engage with racially charged outrage and didn't owe anyone an explanation. Political commentators tried to frame the deletion as avoidance, while fans framed it as control. Either way, it worked. The conversation shifted from, was the performance appropriate, to, why does everyone feel entitled to an explanation? By the next day, the discourse had fully matured into something bigger than a halftime show. Peace pieces were arguing that the backlash proved how conditional acceptance still is for Latino artists. Others insisted the NFL made a mistake by not balancing the performance. A phrase itself became a target of ridicule. What exactly needed balancing? Language, culture, identity? That question hung in the air unanswered. What made this controversy stick was how quiet Bad Bunny stayed throughout it all. No apology, no clarification, no attempt to reframe the narrative. He let the backlash reveal itself, and in doing that, he exposed how quickly celebration turns into hostility when representation stops being decorative and starts being dominant. The performance wasn't brief in impact, even if it was brief in time. It sparked racial arguments, political accusations, celebrity gossip, and internet meltdowns all at once. And the fact that people are still arguing about it says everything. If you caught something the camera skipped, say it in the comments. If you noticed who stayed silent, who suddenly trended, or who looked way too tense for a party, call it out. Around here, we don't pretend moments like this are accidental. This is Whisper Spill, where pop culture isn't clean, reactions aren't neutral, and the real story is always in what people try to brush past. Like, subscribe, and stay close, because the mess always comes after the applause.